International Raceway and the Racing Network's coverage of Vintage Auto Racing Association races. It is Saturday, November 5th, 2022. I'm Brian Belansky. We'll be here for the rest of the afternoon here. We've got 6 races here coming up. First of all, we're going to start with our first group of the day. Stock car racing world, obviously. Combination of late models and trucks. I see the open late models and the 410 late models. I'm going to guess the 410 late models are limited to 410 cubic centimeters. As soon as our pace car starts, I will give you your starting order here. We're at Willow Springs International Raceway. Don't have a ton of bandwidth here this weekend, so we're limited to 1 camera here and our scoreboard. But so essentially a radio broadcast with 1 pretty picture. And that's okay. We're about a minute away from getting this pace lap underway.
8 cars are there.
8 cars in this field.
Yep. Started a minute early. Well, the pace car's got to get its place. Well, we haven't started board.
We are on a 5-minute board now, so 5 minutes until we get this race started. I'll take the opportunity while I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the things we've got going on with the Vintage Auto Racing Association, getting ready for our 50th anniversary year next year. Lots of fun stuff to happen there. It's all going to start off with our VARA University, January 21st and 22nd at Buttonwillow Raceway Park. A whole bunch of fun stuff going on the rest of the year as well. From there, we're going to go to Podium Club. Podium Club, a brand new track in Casa Grande, Arizona, just between Phoenix and Tucson. We had an event there last month and had great reports from the drivers. Beautiful racetrack out there. We're going back in February.
No flags coming out.
Next year's VARA schedule after University of VARA and the February 17th, 18th, and 19th event at Casa Grande, that is Podium Club. From there, don't forget our Hill Climb Series right here at Willow Springs Horse Thief Mile. Those events are February 26th, March 18th, and May 21st. After that, we've got our 50th anniversary celebration for VARA members. That's going to be March 5th. March 18th, 19th, and 20th is the High Desert Challenge right back out here at Willow Springs. And that is going to be a fantastic event. It always is. Then May 13th and 14th, we're going to be at Willow Springs. That's going to include the pre-war race cars, the British Car Show, and the Union Jack Challenge. We call that the British Extravaganza. Then from there, an awesome and fantastic event that we're looking forward to on the new circuit at Buttonwillow, the brand new racetrack out there. That's going to be September 23rd and 24th. So we're going to get out there and do that as well. Getting ready here to get this first race of the day started. This is the Great American Stock Car Series. Eight cars are getting ready to take the green flag here. Let's give you our starting order. Starting in the fourth row on the outside is Bob Blizzard in a late model. On the inside of row 4, Tom Leary, also in a late model car. Then row 3, occupied by 2 spec trucks. On the outside, DJ Jeffrey. The inside is Brian Jeffrey. On the outside of row 2, Adam Jeffrey, also in a spec truck. I suspect they may actually be related. Inside of row 2 is going to be Ed Sharnock. On the first row, your pole sitter, Wyatt Coutu, sorry if I've mispronounced that name. That's car number 83. That's a late model. That's the outside of row 1. And then Michelle Nagai is going to be your pole sitter in car number 72. This is our first race of the day. Following this, we have a group of Shelby cars, Shelby America Club cars. We will not be calling play-by-play for that because they're not racing. They're just enjoying their time here at Willow Springs. And then we will come back after that group and start up again around 2:50 with our first race of the day, our small bore production cars. And we will be back with full race coverage for that. This is what we call our Big Bore Bash weekend here at Willow Springs. Our third race of the day is that Big Bore group. A ton of cars. I think I counted 22. And some absolutely fantastic cars. Corvettes, Shelbys, GT cars, both also A Sedan, B Production, a GTO. You know, just a bunch of really, really cool cars. And we're going to get those out here in the race group 3. That's what we've named the race weekend after. And when you call it the Big Bore weekend, lots of Big Bore cars come out to play. All right, our field is on the backstretch here going into turn 7. Lights are out on the pace car. That means when the pace car exits the track coming out of 9, the field will be under the control of our pole sitter, Michelle Nagai. All these cars look good on the back straight. That's something maybe we can all take a good note of. All nicely lined up in rows of 2 already as they come out of or into 7. 7, 8, 9, the big right-hand sweeper that is not a constant radius. It's one of the more difficult corners in all of motorsports to get right. We'll see how these cars do. Our pace car is getting ready to exit on the main straight here. All 8 cars now going to be running down towards the start stand. We'll see if our starter likes what he sees. If he does, he will throw the green flag, and that is exactly what has happened. We are racing now. The number 9 car heading straight for the first corner. That's Bob Blizzard. Not quite sure how that car got on the pole, but we'll wait to see whether or not these cars are able to negotiate these first couple of turns without any issues. The camera angle that we have this weekend, that's turn 5 and 6, is what we can see from out in the distance there. And then of course we're seeing the start stand there in the foreground.
Actually, they're all 25 from off the grid.
25-minute races here. You can see our starting pylon here, or our scoring pylon on the left. There's no names on that pylon for this particular group. I will do my best to fill you in throughout the afternoon here.
Boy, those first 2 cars. My goodness. Look at how much my boy reminds me of the super production days here. Wow.
front two cars in this group have absolutely checked out. They are on the front straight before the third and fourth place cars get into turn 7. There they are as they cross the line. That's car number 9, Bob Blizzard. The second place car at this point in time is car number 6. That is Ed Sharnock. Then coming across the line, we have the 83 car of Wyatt Coteau, followed by car number 55 of Adam Jeffrey. That's the first truck in the group. Then we've got car number 77, DJ Jeffries. And car number 6, the sixth place car is car number 55, and that is Adam Jeffrey. It appears that 2 of the cars don't have transponders, so we won't be able to tell you what those where those cars are in the mix here. Our lead 2 cars, the 9 and the 6, that's Blizzard and Sharnock. They are already into turn 7, and the third and fourth place cars just coming out of turn 5. So there's a whole lot of speed coming along with those 2 cars. As they come out of turn 9 again, heading down towards the start-finish line, your leader is number 9, Bob Blizzard. Second place is Sharnock in car number 6. Only 0.8 of a second back from first place. And now we'll wait for the second and third place cars to cross the line, and I will be able to give you the exact gap. But I will tell you that gap is well over 20 seconds at this point in time. The 83 cars, almost 20 seconds, 17.5 seconds is the gap. We're not even done with the third race lap yet. It won't be long before those first 2 cars are lapping the field here if they continue to go at the speed that they are now.
What happened with 6 Flight with the smoke this morning?
Our sixth place car, our second place car, number 6, had a little smoking issue earlier this morning. It was a valve cover that was a little leaky. Seems like they've gotten that taken care of because that car is absolutely hauling at the moment, going down the back straight. Last time by, only 0.8 of a second behind your leader. Does not seem as though the distance, the gap between those 2 cars has changed a whole lot on the course of this third lap. Our leaders now coming to the start-finish line, while our second place car is about halfway down the back, or third place car about halfway down the back straight. The gap between first and second widening to 1.3 seconds. Last time by, the gap between second and third, 17.5 seconds. We'll see how much wider that may be at this point in time. Here comes your 83 car. That is Wayne Coteau crossing the line in third place, 24.5 seconds back from the second place car, 26 seconds back from the leader. Third place car is the truck. That's car number 77 of DJ Jeffrey. Here comes your leaders now back into the turn 7, 8, 9 complex. As I said earlier, it is a decreasing radius turn. Not a single portion of that turn is the same radius all the way through. In my opinion, one of the most difficult corners in all of motorsports to get right. And when you do, though, it is a thing of beauty here. Here comes your leader once again, Bob Blizzard. He's turning laps of 122.2. 122.2. I'm not quite sure what the track record is out here, but that is a good and fast lap. Now we're waiting for that third place car to come by. Probably in excess of 30 seconds now is the gap. It will not be long before the leaders catch the back half of the field here.
I wrote 140 out here, Wayne. I just thought it was hot shit. I did a 28 before they widened the track. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Just this one.
Nowhere near the record.
All right, we have reports from turn 4 that our leader, Bob Blizzard, may have spun in turn number 4. That is one way to tighten the field up and get everything back together again. Car 9 has re-entered the course and is back on track. We will see how much he has lost to the second place car, which is now the first place car.
9 and 8, so that's a quarter of a mile.
There you go. All right, the sixth place, number 6 car has come across the line. So Ed Sharnock has assumed the lead of this race. Waiting now for the 9 car. Here he comes across the line. He has lost 15 seconds in that little off and on. He's now 12 and a half seconds back from the leader, who is now the 6 car of Ed Sharnock. Now the 6 car, or the 9 car, was slightly pulling away from the 6 car before the spin. So with, about 16 minutes left in this race, it looks like there might be time for that 9 car to catch up again. We'll have to wait and see how that works out.
Same old, same old.
I think they're doing the same thing all weekend long.
No difference.
Yeah, no, it's same for passing, same. Their rules will be the same for the whole weekend.
As you can see, there is our scoreboard for this weekend.
Go 5.
Qualifying, they're just going out as a track day.
Car number 9, another issue, this time in turn 9. That is going to widen the lead for the 6 car even more.
Doesn't count. That's gas.
We will see the repercussions of that mistake one more time here.
But again,
That's when you start getting
go ahead, Rod.
wound up.
Well, that spin certainly going to make it easier for Ed Sharnock, the 9 car, now coming in to talk to his crew and see what the situation might be. And it looks like that car may actually be heading to the pits, going behind the wall. Not sure if that's the end of the day in this particular series. I know in a lot of series, once you go behind the wall, that's the end of your race.
And a lot of grass in the radiator.
A lot of grass in the radiator, I'm being told, which can, of course, lead to some overheating. And the last thing you want to do with an expensive race motor is overheat it to death. So I'm sure that sometimes discretion is a better part of valor. Call it a day today, get that cleaned out, come back out and do it again tomorrow. That makes our leader, car number 6, is Ed Sharnock. He has opened up a 42-second lead over second place. And the distance between your first place car and your last place car at the line was 1:13, and he's doing 1:23. So it will not be long before Sharnock catches the 55 car. The 55X car is Adam Jeffrey. That is one of the trucks. Just past halfway in this race.
Past halfway.
We'll give you a full field rundown here. Your full field rundown at this point in time, your leader is Ed Sharnock. In second place is Wayne Coutu. Your third place car is Tom Leary in the 55 car. In fourth place, car number 72, that's Michelle Nagai. And your fifth place car, DJ Jeffrey, car number 77. In sixth place is car number 55X, that's Adam Jeffrey. And then your seventh place car, no longer on the track at the moment, is car number 9. That was your race leader, Bob Blizzard. Brian Jeffrey was the eighth place car, and we had 8 cars at the start. It doesn't look as though he's turned a lap. That means one of two things: either the transponder's not working, or he was had to come off after or before the first lap was complete. I'm going to guess maybe the transponder's not working. And your race leader crossing the line again this time. He has lapped the last couple of cars, the last 2 cars. already. Big props to our timing and scoring folks. Are putting the names in for me as we go along here. That's a huge help. Your last lap from your leader, a 126.6. Ed Sharnock's fast lap so far was 122.3. So clearly with a 50-second or so lead, there's no need to 52-second lead. There's no need to pedal it hard here at this point in time. So Sharnock has decided to just take it back a half a notch and no longer needing to push those 1 minute 22-second laps. So circulating about 4 seconds a lap slower than we know that car is capable of. But again, not being pressed at all, 52 seconds. Probably saw the leader spin twice and said to himself, I don't have to do that. I got a 52-second lead. I'm just going to bring this one home, take the checkered flag and the big trophy. Your second place car remains the 83 car of Wayne Coutu. Third place is the 56 car of Tom Leary. In fourth place right now, car number 72, that is Michelle Nagai. Fifth place is DJ Jeffrey. Sixth place, the 55X car of Adam Jeffrey. Your seventh place car, no longer on the track. That was Bob Blizzard, completed 5 race laps before he went behind the wall. And again, I'm thinking a 66 car is out there somewhere. I just don't have a transponder. That's my thought at the moment. Well, let me see if I can see as they come by. Attention the paddock, Shelby Group cars, Shelby America Club cars. You're up next. You should be making your way to the grid. Shelby America cars to the grid. As I expected, the 66 truck of Brian Jeffrey is out there circulating, not posting times, which makes me, means the transponder's not working. So that is the situation there. So we still have 7 cars on the track, just not quite sure where the 66 car lies in all of this. But I do know the 66 car is not winning at the moment. That's the 6 car of Ed Sharnock, who's absolutely walked away from the field. And last time by, he was at a 54-second lead, waiting for the second and third place car to cross the line right now. And that is a 53-second gap. And folks, if you want to watch a race, watch the race for second place. It is 0.1 seconds between second and third right now. That is by far the best racing action on the track right now. Those cars now heading towards turn 2, 3. We'll see them come back into our view here in just a minute. We'll focus on that group here for the next couple of laps because that's clearly the best race that we have going on right now. Here they come through 3, heading up towards 4, nose to tail, pretty close. And this is one of those situations where my question or my wonder is whether or not the third place car is just holding station there, waiting for the final laps to make the move. And that's usually one of the thought processes to do that. And he is able to catch up a little bit here through the twisty section. And then now on the back straight, the second place car starts to pull away just a little bit.
3-5 ahead of 8-3. Or 5-5 rather. And they're catching lap traffic. It may be a factor.
Yep, there is the 5-5 car making the pass. Oh, there's two 5-5 cars. So we have car 55G. That is Tom Leary. I want to say Tom O'Leary. Anybody with the name of Leary should be Irish. It should be Tom O'Leary. But anyway, Tom Leary moved into second place. That's the 55 car. Past the 83 car there of Wyatt Coteau. And the 5-5 truck. So that car was lapped by both the second and third place cars here. Still a 52-second lead for your leader. Now that 5-5 car's gotten around the 83 car, it has started to pull away just a little bit. Less than 5 minutes to go in this race. If there aren't any issues, Ed Sharnock should just be able to coast home this last little bit. Across the line right now is the 77 car of DJ Jeffrey. That car is circulating at 134.7. Here is that 5-5 car in second place. It has opened up a pretty good lead over the 83 car in just one lap. 4.5 seconds now between your second and third place car. And then that truck, the 55 truck, is coming along there as well. That was the lapped car that both those had to negotiate on the previous lap. Here comes your race leader, number 6, Ed Sharnock. Gonna guess maybe the next time by will be the white flag lap here. As fast as that car, might be 2 more, but I think maybe next time by we'll get 1 to go. 3 minutes remaining. It's gonna be really close here to see maybe 2 more laps, maybe 1 more lap. We'll know in just a moment. Other than our early leader, car number 9, Bob Blizzard, having some issues, these cars have been pretty clean this whole race. No big issues here at all. Shelby Racing Group, you should be coming to the line for, coming to grid now for your session. Shelby America Race Group, come to the line now for your session. The gap now between second and third, second and third, it's opened up to 7.1 seconds. The gap between first and second's pretty much stayed the same. I'm pretty sure that 6 car has just decided to ride this one home, doing laps almost exactly the same pace as the second place car. Here comes the white flag. The white flag is out for the 6 car. Going through turn 1, 8 corners to go for Ed Sharnock to take the checkered flag here on the Saturday races here for the Great American Stock Car Series. Already getting ready for our next group. Our next group, folks, is not a race, so what we're going to do is we will not be obviously broadcasting the play-by-play of that group, but we will be back right around 2:50 to get our first VARA race of the day going. So stay with us for that. Our leader now through turn 5 on his final lap of the day. Now moving towards turn 6, down the hill towards the 7, 8, 9 complex. No issues right now, no cars between the 6 car and the checkered flag. All he's got to do is keep the 4 on the pavement, and it will be a win for Ed Sharnock. And the leader going through the final corner for the final time on this Saturday. Here he comes. All he's got to do is make it down to the start-finish line. Checkered flag is in the air. Ed Sharnock is going to be your race winner for the Great American Stock Car Series here on the Saturday races at Willow Springs International Raceway. Your second place car will come around here in about a minute, and then we will get a whole wrap up here of your full field rundown. Your second place car now coming down towards turns 7 and 8. Here comes your second place car. This should be Tom Leary. Car number 55, where are you? Second place, Tom Leary. Your third place car is going to be car number 83. That is Wayne Coteau. Fourth place is 72, Michelle Nagai. Seventh place, DJ Jeffrey. Fifth place, DJ Jeffrey. Sixth place is the 55X car of Adam Jeffrey. Bob Blizzard is, Brian Jeffrey will be your 8th place car, I believe. And then car number 9, Bob Blizzard, will have finished last after having to go behind the wall. That's going to do it for the Great American Stock Car Series here. We'll be back here at about 2:50 for the Shelby Group. For the first race of the day for the VARA Big Bore Bash races. We'll be back. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Attention in the paddock, attention in the paddock. Group 1 race cars to the grid, please. Group 1 cars to the grid for your race. Group 1 cars to the grid. Race Group 1, there's under 3 minutes to go in this session. You will be heading out immediately following this session. Race Group 1 cars to the grid for your race. Race Group 1 to the grid. Race Group 1 to the grid. You will be out next. Your race will be starting shortly. Group 1, we are on a 5-minute board. 5 minutes to the start of Group 1's race. All right, here we go. Our first race of the day, or at least our first Vintage Auto Racing Association race of the day. This is our Big Bore Bash weekend here at Willow Springs International Raceway. I'm Brian Belansky, bringing you here all the action. 5 races ahead here, all 25 minutes in length. And we are getting this car ready to go here for race group 1. This is our D production, E production, F production, E Sedan, Formula V, and Renault Sports Racer. Let's go and give you your starting order. In the 11th row, car number 76, Steve Yarborough. 10th row on the outside is Ken Gomez in an E production Triumph. On the inside of row 10 is Jeff Marks in a 55 Mercedes-Benz. Row number 9 on the outside, Andre Cipriano in a Formula V, a 1985 Zinc. Inside of row number 9 is Steve Marks. Steve Marks is in a 1955 Mercedes-Benz. Chris Monnier is in the number 55 car. That's a Lotus S7, a Super 7 from 1963. On the inside of row 8, Gary Murph, car number 98. That is a 1970 Opel GT. Moving on to row number 7 on the outside, Rene Jimenez. That is a Triumph Spitfire. On the inside of row 7 is Shannon Penrith and Austin Healey Sprite from a 1965, Austin Mini. On the 6th row on the outside is Peter Smith. That's the 8 car. That is an Austin Healey Sprite. On the inside of row number 6 is Ken Rodenbush. That is a 64 Volvo. Car number 5 is Steve Maline. Outside of row number 5, Steve Maline, car number 74, Triumph Spitfire. Inside of row number 5 is Josh Rodenbush. That is a Volvo P1800S. Now on to row 4 on the outside, Peter Giacobbe in a Alfa Romeo Giulietta. And then on the inside of row number 4 is Shelley Heistad. That is in a Fiat 124 Spider. Now moving on to row 3, Scott Druin in the number 58 car. That is a Triumph Spitfire. On the inside of row number 3, Denny Heistad in a 1976 Lancia Scorpion. Moving on now to row number 2 on the outside, Alan Barry in a 65 Triumph Spitfire. On the inside of row number 2 is Clark Kniesel. That is a 56 Austin Healey. Now to your front row, Brian O'Shaughnessy. He is in a 1960 Austin Healey. And then on the inside of the front row, your pole sitter, Harris Koenig, car number 37. That is a Renault Spec Racer. All right, your pace car is on the back straight here, heading down towards turn 7. Got a whole bunch of cars spread out behind him. Not really bunched up yet, but hopefully that will happen soon. They need to bunch up before they hit the front straight so that the starter likes what they see and gets things going here. Lights are out on the pace car. These cars all need to start bunching up here pretty quickly. Pace car is entering turn 7 slowly, trying to give time for the pace cars to get together. Stragglers still coming together at the back of the pack.
No.
No, come on in. You can't fix it. Just come on in and we'll let them start the way they are.
And your pace car coming onto the front straight.
They're getting better. There are some stragglers.
First couple of rows look like they're lined up nicely, 2 by 2. And the back will get close to nice before we get the green flag here. As the starter comes down, the cars come down towards the starter. Waiting for the green flag. Green flag is out. Here they go racing. Harris Koenig takes the quick lead, followed by the 59 car, Brian O'Shaughnessy. Then the Lancia up on the inside, all trying to get to turn 1. That's going to be 3 cars trying to get to that one little spot. Looks like hopefully they all made it through just fine. I don't see too many puffs of dust. That's usually my indicator. We don't have a lot of bandwidth out here as far as cell service goes at Willow Springs, so each race will have just the one camera, which you're looking at here. On the top left corner, you're going to see turn 5 and 6, essentially. And then you'll see the cars coming through there. And, of course, you see your start stand right there at the front. There comes your leaders now.
Have the pace car, when we get to the big bore, have him shut the
Leaders
lights
now
off
through the
at
backstretch.
6 rather than wait till 7.
All right, your leader coming towards the line, but the car behind 62 making a move to take the lead here. Car number 62, Clark Kniesel, takes the lead on the front stretch from Harris Koenig before the start-finish line, it looked like. So the official first race lap leader, Clark Kniesel, Harris Koenig drops back to second, led the whole first lap, but Kniesel was able to get by right before the start-finish line. Your third place car, Brian O'Shaughnessy, followed by Denny Heisted in the Lancia, and then Scott Druin in car number 58 is in fifth place. Coming across the line right at the end here is going to be Jeff Marks in car number 37. Attention to the paddock, attention to the paddock. If you lost a set of keys, you can come to race control and describe them and get them back. If you've lost a set of keys, you can come to race control, describe them, and get them back. All right, your race leaders now side by side going through turn 8 almost. Harris Koenig trying to get that spot back from Clark Kniesel. It's obvious that those cars make speed in a different place, but now Kniesel's being challenged from the back by Brian O'Shaughnessy at the line. It's going to be Kniesel again, but Brian O'Shaughnessy's right there looking to see if he can maybe make a move going into the first turn. He's on the outside. It looks like Harris Koenig will be able to keep that position for now, but Brian O'Shaughnessy is definitely going to be trying to get that second place position here. Denny Heisted, your fourth place car still in that Lancia. Scott Drew in car number 58 is in fifth. That is a Triumph Spitfire. Going a little further down the order, the sixth place car, Josh Rodenbush, that is a 1966 Volvo. Then you've got Alan Berry in the 77 car, followed by the 121 of Peter Giacobbe. Shelley Heisted is in ninth, and Ken Rodenbush is in 10th. That's the number 48 car. That is also a Volvo.
You could spot for the pace car now and say, okay, see where the leaders are, that's where you're going to do it.
No, I just throw the leads out there. Yeah. That way he's got a few of words.
The gap between first and second, the line was 0.7 seconds, but the gap between second and third, can't even put a piece of paper between them. 0.024 seconds, that was the gap at the line. Brian O'Shaughnessy definitely wanting that position. It doesn't look like, though, he was able to keep it there. He has dropped back quite a bit as Harris Koenig tries to make a move and completes the move on your leader, Clark Kniesel, going into turn 9. Clark Kniesel has dropped back to second place, but we'll see if he can fight right back here and get that position. It definitely looks like the 62 car is faster in a straight line, the 37 car faster in the corners. And now that 62 car is going to try to take the lead again, but he backs out going into the first corner. Harris Koenig still keeps that lead. Brian O'Shaughnessy drops back 2.818 seconds. Lots of trading of positions here up front. Really exciting race up front. Also a great race between 6th and 7th. There's only 0.3 tenths of a second. I should say 3/10 of a second. Between 6th and 7th, so keep a look on that. That's the battle between the number 168 and the number 121 cars. Those are both D production cars. Here comes your leader now again, now through 4 and 5. Harris Konig's been able to open up a bit of a lead here. The Clark Kniesel, he's fallen back, and he's now being challenged by Brian O'Shaughnessy for that second place position. So a lot of work early by those cars, but now things have sorted them out a little bit. And the 37 car, that is that Renault Sports Racer, has opened up what's going to look to me to be maybe a 4 or 5 second lead when they get to the line here. Second and third place now has closed the gap. Brian O'Shaughnessy almost catching up with the 62 car. Here comes your leader. He's about to get the first car lapped, so he's now dealing with some lap traffic. Here comes the 62 car, also going to deal with that lap traffic here. And then you've got Brian O'Shaughnessy 1.2 seconds back from second place. So Konig's been able to open up a 2.4 second lead. This is clearly one of those situations where you've got cars that make their speed in very, very different ways. That Renault Sports Racer definitely fast in the twisty bits. And then you've got Clark Kniesel in the 62 car, very, very fast in a straight line. That's that 1965 Austin Healey. That is a very fast car going straight, but not quite as fast as that Renault Sports Racer going through that 37 car.
Starter is standing. Go ahead. Back on course. Car number 7, black. Okay, control center.
Car number 77 had a little incident. Alan Barry. It looked as though the 121 car of Peter Giacobbe and the 77 car Alan Barry got together going into turn 1. The 121 car made it through fine. The 77 car had to do it off and on. All that while your leader now heads through turn number 9 and down the front straight. He's going to be making a pass coming up here, a lap car. This is the Formula V of Andres Cipriano. That is the 3 car.
Go 6.
Now we have car number 94 off with a mechanical problem. That's the number 94 Triumph of Ken Gorney. That car has got some mechanical problems.
Yeah, he's way off. Copy that.
No big changes up front. Koenig, Kniesel, O'Shaughnessy, they are your top 3 right now, followed by Scott Druin and Denny Heisted. 6th place is Josh Rodenbush, followed by Ken Rodenbush, Shelley Heisted. Peter Giacobbe was in 9th, now dropped down to 10th. Alan Barry's in 9th, and Peter Smith is in 10th. Got about 11 minutes left in this race. We're past the halfway point, so let's go and give a full field rundown. I just ran through the top 10, so I will run through the rest of the field. Your 11th place car is Steve Maline, followed by Gary Murph, Shannon Penrith, Chris Monnier. Rene Jimenez is 15th. Peter Giacobbe's dropped to 16th. Steve Marks is 17th. Andre Cipriani is in 18th. Ken Gorney is 19th. Your 20th place car is Jeff Marks. Efren Olivares was your number 96 is your 21st place car, and Steve Yarborough either didn't take the start or does not have a transponder working. All right, we have a change of position now. Brian O'Shaughnessy has taken over the second place car from Clark Kniesel. We're also hearing some mechanical problems for the 48 car, Ken Rodenbush. That car has pulled off the course, and with a mechanical issue. That's car number 48. That is a 1964 Volvo. That car was running in the top 10 there before it had any issues. Obviously now dropping down through the order, but that was either in 7th or 8th place before that little problem. Not sure exactly what that issue is. Harris Koenig, now your race leaders, open up a 5.4 second lead. Brian O'Shaughnessy was able to take the lead on the last lap. He is now in second. I'm sorry, he was able to take over second place on the last lap. He is now in second. Clark Kniesel has moved back down to third now. Steve Marks making a move up 13 positions. Steve Marks, the fast mover in this race in car number 72. That car number 72 is a 1955 Mercedes-Benz. That is a gorgeous race car, by the way, folks. Absolutely beautiful car. Brian O'Shaughnessy is being hounded down the front straight by Clark Kniesel. Clark Kniesel in that 62 car does not want to give up that position easily. Now only 0.2 of a second back from O'Shaughnessy. All of that going on while the lead car starting to pull away with a 10-second lead. Coming by the start-finish line right now, a 3-car battle. Car number 7, 4, 32, and 98. 7, 4, 32, and 98. Let's see if that's the 10th, 11th, and 12th place cars of Steve Maline, Shannon Penrith, and Gary Murph. A great little battle. Keep an eye on them, folks. Your race leader just crossed the start-finish line here with what is probably going to be about a 10, 12, 13-second lead.
We can do about it now.
As we count down the final minutes of this race, we're coming up on 7 minutes to go.
The car's sitting like this. Now maybe just the surface, And are you able to put binoculars on the driver, see if he's moving around?
You can't, my binoculars aren't enough to see if the driver.
Brian O'Shaughnessy now opening up 1.1 seconds over the second place car. But if things continue as they have, I would not count out Clark Kniesel for trying to get back into that second place. He is just hanging around there and being kind of pesky and trying to see if he can still stay in the mix here. Your race leader dealing with some lap traffic very nicely going through 4 and now through 5, heading down towards 6, had 3 cars in the way, was able to negotiate those 3 cars without any issues, and he will now again start to pull away a little bit more as he heads down towards turn 7. Turn 7 is kind of a little kink in the backstretch here. Now we've got him coming through turn 8 and heading to 9. With looking at the clock here, we've got just coming up on 5 minutes to go here as we get to the final moments of this race. Still a lot of lap traffic in the way. Lots of multi-classes here. As we see, we've got this Renault Spec Racer coming into your frame right now, going past the start-finish line, continuing to work to negotiate through this lap traffic. But it certainly doesn't seem to be giving him too many problems. He has, well, something may have happened. According to timing and scoring, the first place car now only has a 0.7 of a second lead. Your leader, car number 37, Harris Koenig, should be going through 3 right now.
Disregard start. 3-7. So it's the Renault. Yeah.
You got 3 more cars coming, Joe, and then you can cross. Last car will be
The red with the floppy.
I'm not quite sure how. It looks like maybe the 37 car of Harris Koenig had some sort of an issue if timing and scoring is correct, and I have no reason to believe that it's not.
Oh, yeah.
He is still working his way through some
quite as big of a gap.
some issues. I hear now that the 5.9 car of Brian O'Shaughnessy has gotten by to take the lead. I'm wondering if that Renault Sports Racer is having some sort of a mechanical problem, because it's still out there and going fairly fast from what I can tell. It doesn't look like it's terribly slow, but it does appear, from what I'm hearing from the corners, that the 59 car has taken the lead of this race. And as they come to the front straight, it does certainly look that way, but Harris Koenig's not giving up. He is trying to catch back up again.
Okay, so rescue on
Here comes the 5.9 car of O'Shaughnessy, and then the Harris Koenig car. Again, not exactly sure what the situation is there. And then the 62 car of Clark Kniesel has come and caught up again. I'm hearing 2 laps to go here as we get close to the end here, with 3 minutes and 21 seconds left. We'll have 1 to go next time by.
your other car is going to be driving left.
After a pretty not eventful race for Harris Koenig, something happened to bring O'Shaughnessy back into the fold now, and we will see if O'Shaughnessy can fight back and get the lead back in this last lap and a half. Race Group 2 to the grid. Race Group 2 to the grid for your race. We are under 3 minutes to go, under 2 laps to go. Race Group 2 to the grid. All right, your leader's heading now towards turn 5. It doesn't look like too much of a change in the gap has come up. Koenig still trying to catch back up to the back of O'Shaughnessy. Here comes that 37 car closing the gap. Going to try to make a pass here in turn 7, and he's going to get by. Now we have a new leader. The 37 car, Harris Koenig, has taken the lead through 6. He's got to get through 8 and 9 with the lead. This car had been faster the entire race, so not quite sure what the hiccup was that made him drop back, but he has now retaken the point as he heads down towards the white lap. He's going to have to hold on with lap traffic again here, with a little more lap traffic. If he can get past that, then he's just going to have to hold off that 59 car for 1 more lap. Now the 59 car also gets through the lap traffic without any issues. So it's going to be the 37 and the 59 mano a mano heading towards the end of this race. Those cars now going towards turn 3. They come back into my vision right around turn 4 area, turn 3, 4. I'll let you know what the gap is at that point in time as soon as I can see them. Coming into view first for me, this is the part of the track I cannot see from the announce booth. Waiting for them now at the moment. As they come through, it looks like... It looks like the Brian O'Shaughnessy has taken. Oh no, I'm wrong. I can see him. It's Harris Koenig still with the lead through 6, heading down towards 7 without any issues. There's not going to be a chance for O'Shaughnessy to make up this gap in the final half a lap. Here comes your leader. Through 8, now heading towards 9. Nothing between Harris Koenig and the checkered flag now. All he's got to do is keep it between the white lines to get to the finish line here. And it looks like our winner is going to be 37, Harris Koenig. Brian O'Shaughnessy will come in second. Clark Kniesel will likely be your third place car. Here he comes. Car number 62 will come in second. So after all that drama, it ends up being exactly as it was for most of the race. Koenig, O'Shaughnessy, Kniesel at the line. That's your top 3. Group 2 cars to the grid. Group 2 cars to the grid for your race. Group 2 cars to the grid. All right, Group 2 cars. We're getting ready to go on a 5-minute board. Group 2 cars to the grid. Let's go through a full field rundown for race Group 1. Harris Koenig was your race winner. Brian O'Shaughnessy was second. Clark Kneisel finished third. Fourth place was Scott Druin, followed by Denny Heisted. Shelley Heistad finished sixth. Then Josh Rodenbush was seventh, followed by Alan Barry, Shannon Penrith, and your eighth place car was Gary Murph. In 11th, Steve Maline. Peter Smith was 12th, followed by Chris Monnier. Rene Jimenez and Steve Marks finished 15th. Your 16th place car, Andre Cipriano, and Ken Gorney was your last car running. That was the 94 car in 17th. 18th, 19th, and 20th, Jeff Marks, Ken Rodenbush, and Peter Giacobbe. And then your number 21st place car was Efren Olivares. He completed 3 race laps before having an issue. All right, that's your full field rundown for race Group 1. We're going to take a brief break. Don't go away. Just a minute, we'll get race number 2 started.
We'll check 7.
Race Group 2 to the grid. Race Group 2 to the grid.
Go ahead.
Group 2, we're on a 3-minute board. Group 2. Attention the paddock, attention the paddock. The driver of car number 121, Peter Giacobbe, please report to race control. Car number 121, driver Peter Giacobbe, please report to race control. All right, we're getting ready to start race group number 2 here. This is our Wings and Slicked Formula Car group. Let's go through our starting order here for this second race of the day. In your 5th row, on the outside, Rupert Bragg Smith in a C Sports Racer. On the inside of row number 5, Ricardo Rodriguez Long. Let me go look. His name was cut off on my board here. Let's see if I can make sure it's, yep. Ricardo Rodriguez Long is your inside of row 5 starter. He is in a Formula Continental. Row 4 on the outside, John Adams, not the president, the race car driver. He will be on the outside of row number 4. He is in a World Sports Racer. Inside of row 4, Marcello Doffo in the number 67 car. That's a 95 Van Diemen Formula Continental. Now you're going to go to row 3 on the outside. You've got James Coons, the car number 43. That is in a Supersports B car. That is an 85 Zephyrus MK4. On the inside of row number 3, car number 81, Don Sauersig. That is a Sports 2000 car, a Swift DB2 from 1988. Now to row 2 on the outside, Rick Kirschner, car number 23. It's a 94 Van Diemen Formula Continental. Inside of row 2, Paul Lissick, car number 07. That's a Super V, a 1985 Walt Art T5. Then the row number 1 is Rodney Grabinski, car number 4. Belansky should be able to say Grabinski, right? Car number 4, Rodney Grabinski. That is a Formula B car, a Brabham BT29. There's some lineage there, folks. And then on the inside of row 1, that's your pole sitter, Damian Della Santina in a Super V. It's a 94 Swift DB4. I believe that was an old Formula Atlantic car from the heyday of that series. That's an absolutely gorgeous race car. If you get a chance to go take a look at it up close. Just a really, really pretty race car. Toyota Atlantic Series, that's correct.
Pace car lights out now.
Lights are out on the pace car as they go through turn 6.
Lights are out.
Only 10 cars in this group, so they should be able to get together nicely here at the start. Nice little rows of 2x2 before they get on the arc. And we get ready to go here.
Yeah, they're pairing up really good, pace cars, so don't worry about them not being tight behind you.
Getting this race going here. We count down the time on these races. They are not they are timed races, not lap races, and our time starts when they leave pit lane. So usually about 20 minutes left before when we take the green flag for the first time. Here comes our pace car now through turn 8, heading to turn 9. Pack looks really nice at this point in time. This will probably be our fastest race group of the weekend. That Toyota Atlantic car should be the fastest car here at Willow Springs this weekend. Running times of 1:23.2. Yeah, maybe the big bore cars will come close to that. Yeah, the big bore cars are just slightly faster, at least one of them is. Here comes our cars down towards the start stand. We'll see if we get a green flag here. And Tracy likes what she sees. Tracy Kane, our starter, throws the green flag. That Toyota Atlantic car jumps out to an early lead. The Brabham, though, that's a gorgeous older Formula car, is not moving too far back. Going to stay in second place as they go through the first corner here. All right, here comes our first car now heading through turn 3 up into turn 4. That is that Toyota Atlantic car. Signed up as a Super V car. I will tell you, though, that Brabham BT29 is just hanging in there. It's probably 25 years between those two cars, but don't tell that to the second place car of Rodney Grabinski.
Try that guy again, will you? Whatever it was.
Car number 121 driver, Peter Giacobbe, please report to the control tower, race control. Car number 121, Peter Giacobbe, driver of 121, please report to race control. All right, we have a pass for second place here right at the line. Taking over second place right there is Paul Lissick in the Super V car, just edging Rodney Grabinski at the line. Grabinski will drop to third after being in second at the start of the race. Follow it now by Chet Taylor, James Coons, Marcello Doffo, John Adams, Ricardo Rodriguez Long moves up to 8th, and Don Sauersig is 9th. Rupert Bragg Smith 10th. It looks like Rick Kirchner did not take the green flag.
Copy that.
Twin cam is a double overhead cam.
All right, Paul Lissick's trying to catch the first place car. Those are both Super V cars. The Lissick car, car 07, 2 seconds back from the first place car. Still a lot of time, though. Obviously, we're just on the second race lap here. Lots of racing to go here in this winged and slicked field. These are the fastest Formula cars here this weekend. Also some sports racers in there as well. World Sports Racer is in there. A couple of Sports 2000 cars. These are just some of the really cool Formula cars that we have. Damian Della Santina is in a 19... It says 19.9. I'm guessing it's a 1999 Swift DB4. It could be an 89 also. That car's out of Sherman Oaks. That's your first place car. Your second place car, Paul Lissick, he's in an 85 Ralt RT5 from Tehachapi, and he is your second place car right now. Going down to third is Rodney Grabinski, is in a Brabham BT29. Grabinski hails out of Escondido. That's your top 3 at the moment. Oh, we got one more car joining the race late here. This is the car number 23, Rick Kirchner. He was the car that was not with us here at the start. You always know a car is coming on late when it's bright day-glow orange. I always tell drivers, if you want the announcer to talk about you, make your car bright orange or bright yellow. Those are the ones I tend to talk about the most. Anyway, Kirchner joining the field 2 laps down here, and we'll just see what that happens. I'm not sure why that car was late to the start. But nonetheless, trying to get their money's worth here for this race weekend. Your race leader now coming through turn 9, heading down the front straight. That's Della Santina. Just turned the fast lap of the weekend for him, a 1:25.4. That is a fast race lap. Paul Lissick a little slower here, 2 seconds a lap, about 2 seconds a lap slower, turning laps at around 1:27.2. So if that stays the course, that 10 car will be able to just slowly pull away here and get himself a nice little gap here. The time between our first and last place car is running a 1:25s. Your 10th place car running at the moment is running 1:43s. Obviously, they're different classes, so we don't expect them to be in the same times for those classes. But what it does represent is the different things that these drivers have to deal with when they're coming up on slower traffic in this multi-class racing. Got to be really careful once you start to lap the field, because those cars are very different paces, and which means they're braking at different times, they're turning in at different places, and you just got to make sure you're really, really careful when you start coming up on the backside of a field like this. Here comes your leader again. This is Della Santina. 5 laps complete this time. Another fast lap going purple again. This is the 1:25.357. So taking off another couple tenths of a second here. Paul Lissick also turns his fastest race lap, a 1:26.7. And then Rodney Grabinski turned his fastest race lap, a 1:28.4. All turning their fast laps on the 5th lap here. What that could be, folks, it's a little chilly this weekend. It may take a couple laps for these guys to get their tires really up to speed, kind of figure out what's slippery and what's not. And so each lap now, they're able to turn another fast lap. And then the 4th place car, Chet Taylor, also just turned his fastest lap on lap number 5. He just turned a 1:31.993. So first 4 cars all on the same lap, turning their fastest lap of the race. All right, there is your leader again, dealing with that lap traffic like I talked to you about. And even with the lap traffic, fastest lap of the race here, a 1:25.094. If he keeps it up, he's going to dip into the 1:24s here before all is said and done. We are at the halfway point. Let's give you a full field rundown here at the halfway point. Damian Della Santina, your race leader. 2nd place, Paul Lissick. And your 3rd place car, Rodney Grabinski. 4th through 6th, Chet Taylor, James Coons, Marcello Dolfo. Then in 7th place, you've got the world sports racer. That is John Adams in the 89 car. 8th place, John Sauersig is in the Sports 2000 car. Now 9th, Ricardo Rodriguez Long as a Formula Continental. Another Formula Continental in 10th place is the number 23 car of Rich Kirchner. He's the car that joined late here. He is 3 laps down to the field. And then you've also got the number 63 car of Rupert Bragg Smith. Not quite sure where he is. He's showing in 11th on my rundown, but not exactly sure what that means, but we'll figure it out. Here comes the 43 car across the line, James Coons. You can hear that car coming from about a mile and a half away. That is not a quiet race car. Here comes a big gaggle of cars that your leader's having to deal with back marker traffic. It does look like, though, that 10 car is getting around without any issues, although there's one car going into turn 1. Hopefully, yep, he knew he was there, got out of the way, and that lap traffic probably slowed down the 10 car just a little bit. That's the first lap in about 4 laps that the 10 car hasn't turned its fastest race lap. So it does look like there's some clear track ahead, though, now. So we'll see whether or not the 10 car gets back on track as far as clicking off those fast race laps. He was only 94 one-thousandths of a second off of a turn to 124 something. So we will see if that's still in the cards for the 10 car. Yeah, that 10 car now clear of lap traffic for a little bit here. It should get another lap or two without any issues. A nice clean track in front. Got about 10 minutes left in this race. Great 3 cars to the grid. Group 3 cars to the grid for your race. Group 3 cars to the grid. Peter Giacobbe, driver of car number 121. That is Alfa Romeo 121. Peter Giacobbe, please report to race control. Peter Giacobbe, driver of car number 121 in Group 1. Please report to race control. Group 3 cars to the grid. Group 3 cars to the grid for your race. All right, here comes your race leader coming around again here. The 10 car, that is Damian Della Santina crossing the line here. 14 seconds was the gap last time by. Let's see what the gap is at this point. It feels like it'll be a little bigger than 14 seconds. Here comes Paul Lissick. Yep, 15.7 seconds back to second place. Now looking for that Formula B car. That is Ronnie Grabinski in that Brabham. He is now 10 seconds back from second place and 26.5 seconds back from your race leader, James Kuhn, circulating in fourth, followed by Don Sauersig in fifth. That's your top 5 here as we get to about 7.5 minutes left in this race. Group 3 cars to the grid. Group 3 cars to the grid for your race. All right, we got a car going in behind the wall. It is the car number 87 car. 87 car has retired from this race. That is Ricardo Rodriguez Long, a Formula Continental car. He was running in 9th place when he retired. The other car that has retired from this race, the 36 car of Chet Taylor, that is your GTO entry. That car has gone behind pit wall.
About 5. We have a primary and a secondary. We have additional violations.
We've completed 10 laps up this point, and there's just a little over 5 minutes left in this race. With 5 minutes to go, the gap between first and second place here is in excess of the first front straight for sure. We'll know the number here in just a minute. 15.15 seconds now, the gap between first and second. So with under 5 to go, I would say right now the 10 car just needs to coast it home, and it has also it hasn't really slowed down very much. And part of the reason is that the second, third, and fourth place cars are all running their fastest laps of the weekend. The second place car is less than a second slower than the 10 car. So while the 10 car has a 15-second lead, it really doesn't have a whole lot of margin for error here. If he can just keep it on the track and not make any mistakes, he should be fine. But 15 seconds, as we found out in the previous race, can get gobbled up really quick if you have a hiccup. And so that's what the 10 car right now is trying to accomplish, is to get to the finish line without any hiccups. And if you do go off here at Willow Springs, there's a lot of room to wander. But if you wander off far enough, it takes a little bit of time to get back, and that 15 seconds can be gone in a blink. We're hearing 2 laps remaining from the start stand. So next time by, we'll get the white flag. The 1-0 car of Damien Della Sentina should be the car to receive that flag the first time. But he is moving along here and trying to get to the end of this race. He has opened the gap to 16.175 seconds, and which is, again, plenty of lead here without any issues. Paul Lissick continues to click off his fastest race lap after lap. Again, on lap 12 now, he hits a fast race lap. So this is 126.3, but it's his fast race laps still not faster than the 10 car. So you want to make sure that you keep that up here for the final laps. If there's no way that the 7 car is going to catch him at this point in time without a big mistake from the 10 car. Our leader is now heading through turn 8 and to turn 9. One more time by, and it will be a white flag. He's got a lap car between him and his start-finish line, but he's gotten around that car. The white flag is now out. 1 lap to go for Damien Della Sentina to take the checkered flag and the big trophy. Here comes the second place car, still quite a bit behind here. We'll see if that car hits another fast race lap. Not this time, just slightly slower. But the consistency of these laps on the 07 car, really, really remarkable. If you go back over the last 4 laps, 26.8, 27.3, 26.5, 26.3, 26.6. So these last 3 race laps, extremely consistent. But not nearly enough to catch the 10 car.
Board right now. Run our last lap.
Group 3 cars to the grid. Group 3 cars to the grid for your race. Our big bore cars should be coming to the grid or at the grid at this point in time. We will be getting to your race very quickly after the end of this one. All right, your leader through turn 7 now, heading towards turn 9 for the final time. Once he gets through turn 9, just needs to hold the wheel straight, down the front straight, towards the start-finish line. The checkered flag is in the air, and your race winner, car number 10, Damien Della Sentina.
Are there any
All right, let's go give you your full field rundown. I think that'll be pretty accurate at this point in time. Your winner, Damian Delacentina, the 10 car. Second place, Paul Lissick, followed by third, Rodney Grabinski. That's your podium. Your fourth place car is James Coons, followed by Don Sauersig. Number sixth place car, John Adams. Marcello Doffo finishes seventh. Rick Kirchner is the last car running, finishes eighth. Well, that's why he came back out late. He was able to work his way up from 11th to 8th, even though he came out 2 laps after everybody else. Chet Taylor finishes 9th. Ricardo Rodriguez Long 10th. Rupert Bragg Smith finishes in 11th. That's your full field rundown at the end of race number 2. Race number 3 is up next. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Group 3 cars to the grid. Group 3 cars to the grid. All right, this is our Big Bore Bash. This is what we call the weekend, and these are our Big Bore cars getting ready to start here for their race on this Saturday. Let's get to it. 29 cars to take the green flag today. In the 15th row is Jay Perilli in a Ford GT350. On your 14th row on the outside, Judson Schutz in a 65 Cobra Daytona. 27th place inside of row 14, Jenny Swanson in a 64 Corvette. Now moving on to row 13 on the outside, Jim Smith, car number 96. That is also a Chevy Corvette. On the inside of row 13, Dale Erickson. That is a Pantera Daytona. What a gorgeous race car, by the way, folks. Car number 12 on the outside, Joe Biglione. Car number 70, that is a Ford Mustang. On the inside of row 12 is car number 3, Roger Colombo. That is a Porsche GT3. Row number 11 is 47, Randy Roberts in a Chevy Camaro. Row 11 on the inside, Robert Kelly in the 996 Chevy Corvette. Now car number 10, row 10 on the outside, Bob Catalano. He is car number 101. It's in a Cobra Roadster. Now you go to the inside of row 10, Ron Hurst, car number 21, a Ford Mustang. Row number 9 on the outside, Scott Graham, car number 6, an RX-7. Now to the inside of row number 9, Dennis Fritz, that is a Chevy Corvette. Row number 8 on the outside, Wayne Taylor in a Porsche 911 ST. I don't think it's that Wayne Taylor. I'm guessing it's a different Wayne Taylor, but who knows? On the outside of inside of row number 8, Gary Smith, car number 313 in a Porsche 914. Now moving on to row 7 on the outside is Brad Long. That's car number 46, a Chevy Corvette. Next to him, another Chevy Corvette, Frank Manning in the 94 car. Row 6 on the outside, Kirk Svalstad is in a Corvette. On the inside of row number 6, you've got Steve Thomas in a Ford Thunderbird. Row number 5 on the outside, Wayne Graham. On the inside is Maury Gentile in car number 8. That is a BMW 330. Now we move on. Row number 4 on the outside is Miguel Olaso in a BMW M3. On the inside of row number 4, John Anderson. Row number 30, car number 37, that is a Chevy Corvette. Row 3 on the outside, Chris Qualls. That's car number 62. On the inside of row 3, Chet Taylor in a Mazda RX-7. Row number 2 on the outside, Mike Davis in a Mustang GT Trans Am car. On the inside of row 2, Mike Gagan. That is a Chevy Camaro. Now your front row, Richard Gottlieb in a Chevy Camaro. Your pole sitter, number 10, Brandon Davis in a Ford Mustang GT. That is your starting order. Lights are out on the pace car as the pace car heads down towards turn 8 here. Front rows all gathered together nicely. The back of the pack just coming out of 6. They're going to have to hustle it up here to get there, and it looks like they're trying to do their best to do that. They're going to try to bunch them up here as they come to it. They'll probably have some stragglers not quite lined up 2 by 2 at the back, but the front 5, 7, 8 rows look really, really good right now. So that's going to be the best that you can do with the group this large is probably the case here. Here they come. The pace car is getting ready to exit the track. When that happens, Brandon Davis will be in charge of the field, and he will roll those cars down towards the start-finish line, and we will see whether or not it is all going to work out. Here comes the field. The green flag is out. Brandon Davis, a quick jump ahead. Oh, gosh, Brandon Davis was probably 10 car lengths ahead before he got to the start-finish line. Listen to this roar of these ground pounders, the big bore cars flying through start-finish. Man, if that doesn't get your heart pumping, folks, nothing will. That is the loud and proud big bore cars. What a wonderful race and sound. Love that. Mostly V8s coming down here towards the first corner. Brandon Davis had a huge jump, so I assume that he's going to get to turn 3 before everybody else. That is one way to make sure nobody takes you out on the first corner.
Tell him after the first lap. Okay.
Here comes your cars now towards through turn 3 and 4 for the first time. Brandon Davis probably has a 15 car length lead at this point in time. Now, I will say that even with the jump, that car's best time was 6 seconds, 7 seconds faster than the second place car in qualifying. So the jump is one thing, but that is just flat out a faster race car. Here comes Brandon Davis through turn 9 for the first time. We will see whether or not he keeps that lead. Or is it Mike Davis? There's a Mike Davis and a Brandon Davis. We'll see which one is here first. Here comes the 10 car. It's going to be Brandon Davis is going to take your lead here. Here comes the 1 car. That is going to be Richard Gottlieb in second, followed by 10, Mike Gagan, 11, Mike Davis. Chris Qualls is in 5th, John Anderson, Maury Gentile, Miguel Olaso, Steve Thomas, and Wayne Graham. That's your top 10 at the end of one race lap. This is our featured group of the weekend, the big bore cars, A sedans, A production, B production, GTO, Trans Am cars. We've got a NASCAR Bill Elliott vintage car. That's the 11 car, all dressed up in the Budweiser colors. The 11 Ford Thunderbird of, used to be a Bill Elliott car. Here comes your race leader again now through turn 8, heading towards turn 9. Again, this was the fastest car in qualifying right now on the first race lap. It was 6 seconds a lap faster than the second place car. So this car is 100% hooked up. Just turned its second, went purple again here, a 1:23.006. And we have now the rest of our field, a huge gaggle of cars, 6 through 12, real tight. Alasso, Gentile, Anderson, Graham, Thomas, Long, each car less than a second apart. That's positions 6 through 10, all really racing together here closely here, putting on a fantastic show here for the fans. Our featured show of the weekend. You want to know why it's a featured show? Watch positions 6 through 10, folks. They are putting on one heck of a race car, one heck of a race.
Yeah, we're starting in the back tomorrow. Or I was thinking about just give him a 20-second penalty. He'll still be leading. Yeah.
Here comes your race leader out of turn 9 again. This is Brandon Davis coming down one more time. Last time by a 1:23.006. This time by 1:22.977. Broke the 1:22 barrier here. And there is a whole front straight between first and second place at this point. The gap's going to be close to 20 seconds at the line between first and second. 19.6 seconds, my spidey senses were correct. Just a few blinks beyond, blinks short of 20 seconds. That second place car is an A sedan car, the number 1. That is a 69 Chevy Camaro. Actually a beautiful race car back from the late 60s. Your third place car is Mike Gagan. He's in an 88 Chevy Camaro. That would be the next, two generations of Camaro away.
Yeah, I'm going to let it go. Just pounce everything.
No, you don't need to do that. It starts side by side, still on accelerating.
Yeah.
Attention to the paddock, attention to the paddock. The snack bar is going to close at 4:30. 4:30, so if you want to grab a bite, you've got 30 minutes to do it. The 10 car might be able to stop at the snack bar, get a beverage, and maybe some French fries, and still stay in the lead. Now a 21-second lead, 4 laps into this race, and showing no signs of slowing down. Although the last lap, now that I say that, was a little bit slower, a 1:26. Not quite sure if he had to deal with some lap traffic in that lap or whatever the case may be. But definitely Davis's slowest lap so far. And even with that, he was able to open up a gap of another couple of seconds. So the time before was just a couple blinks shy of 20 seconds. Now it's a 21.1 second lead. But I got to tell you, there's still some fantastic action when you look back 6th through 10th. There's a bunch of cars that are less than a half a second between each other, and even 9th and 10th is only is another half a second between 9th and 10th.
Even the green cars, Mike is lapping everybody.
We got a
Off in the dirt.
car way off in the dirt at turn 9. That is about as far off as I think I've ever seen anybody go there and come back on the track. The car number, I'm going to catch it here in just a second. That is car number, I think that's car number 91, and that's going to be Wayne Graham. Went way off on the outside of turn 9, back in the action now. That car was in 5th place when it went off. When it crossed the line here, it lost 5 positions. Big off for the 9-1 car.
Go for it. Smoke in the cockpit, car 1-0.
Now I'm hearing that there might be some issues with the 1-0 car.
1-0.
1-0 white. That might be.
Be ready. We have 1-0 white.
You're on my channel.
Rescue, be ready. We have 1-0 white coming slow around 8 now with smoke in the cockpit.
I think that's 0-1-0 Mike White of Miguel Olaso is the car that might be having some issues here.
Just entering code up to 9 now.
Because the 1-0 car is our leader, Brandon Davis, and that car is black. So 1-0, I think it's 0-1-0 white is the car we're looking for. Or that could also be the Mike Gagan car. There's several cars of yeah, no, I think it's the 10 car, the 1-0 white of W of Mike Gagan is the car with the issues. It is now on pit lane, so it made it back to the pits with no problems.
Start the waving.
All right, that is a Chevy Camaro. It is making it to the pit safely, so that's good. We had reports that there were smoke in the cockpit, which makes me think that car is gone kaput. The good news is I don't see a trail of oil coming out behind it, so that's good. All right, we're coming up on the 10 minutes to go mark here. We're also hearing that car number 36 spun in turn 3, possibly. Trying to see who that car is. 36. Lots of stuff happening here, and hard to keep track of it. Here's what's not hard to keep track of. Brandon Davis, he has a 39-second lead. So he is not too far away from getting to the point where he might be lapping the entire field here. Certainly has a chance to start looking at maybe lapping the top 5 or so.
Did you have a yellow up for your 9-1 white?
Let's go through our top 5 here. Right now it's Brandon Davis in 1st, Richard Gottlieb in 2nd, Mike Davis is in 5th, Chris Quall 6th, and your 5th place car is Miguel Olaso. Let's go through the whole field. We haven't done that yet. Your 6th place car, Maury Gentile, followed by John Anderson, Wayne Graham, and Steve Thomas. And in 10th place, you've got Gary Smith. 11 through 15, Brad Long, Kirk Vilstead, Frank Manning, Wayne Taylor, and Scott Graham. Now 16 through 20, Ron Hurst, Dennis Fitz, Robert Kelly, Bob Castellano, and Jim Smith. In 21st, you've got Randy Roberts, followed by Jenny Swanson, Judson Schutz, Roger Colombo, and Jay Perilli is in 25th. Brian Pritt, Mike Gagan, Dave Erickson are 26 through 28. Group 4 cars to the grid. Race Group 4 to the grid. Group 4 cars to the grid. Miguel Olaso had an issue in turn 4 and had to pull off, but has now since resumed action. We'll see how far that has taken him down. That car was in 5th place when that happened. We'll know more here in just a moment what the how far that car went down in the order. I can tell you now that Maury Gentile moves up to 4th, then John Anderson, Wayne Graham. Still waiting for Miguel Olaso to come by.
Rescue, go down.
Copy 2B, dispatching fire truck to 2B. Is that for your car that pulled off 2B?
2B is driver's right. Car 6, black, going by you right now is your last car dispatch. You got a big gap.
Copy. Confirming driver's right exit.
We're under 7.5 minutes to go here in this race. Coming up on 7.5 minutes to go. Lots of action going
7.5 minutes, okay?
on all around the racetrack with this big bore group. Brandon Davis still now with a 43-second lead.
Hey, you may be covering for 2B all the way up to 3. Is he off the track? He was off the track.
Off
and
the track, safe.
That gap now between first and second has grown to 43 seconds. Mike Davis is in second. Miguel Olaso dropped all the way down to 12th after that little off-track incident in 4.
Wants us to do anything else.
Group number 4 to the grid. Group 4 to the grid for your race. Race Group 4 to the grid.
See anything down at
Group 4 to the grid. Group 4 to the grid. 6 minutes left in this race, folks. 6 minutes left. Right now, our running order is in first place. You've got Brandon Davis, followed by Richard Gottlieb, Mike Davis, and Wayne Graham. Car number 010 has pulled into the pits. That is the Miguel Olaso car. That's the car that had an issue in turn 4, some sort of a mechanical issue. That BMW is now on pit lane.
for the log, in case you didn't get it, the fire truck did arrive.
We had to have a fire truck head out to the course corner 2, with a car with a little bit of fire and smoke, but looks like that's probably under control at the moment. Driver is out of that car and safe, which is good news. There's your race leader now, completing lap number 11.
Just over 5 minutes remaining.
And he is definitely taking it easy on the rest of the field at this point. His last lap is a 1:25, down from his fastest lap of the day, the 1:22.9 that he did on lap number 3. No real need to hurry. 5 minutes to go in this race with a huge gap between first and second. He can just kind of bring this one home nice and easy.
I'll let you do that first.
Group 4 cars to the grid. Group 4 cars to the grid. Attention in the paddock. Attention in the paddock. Group 4 cars to the grid. All right, we're hearing next time by, 1 to go. Brandon Davis a lap and then 3/4 or so away from winning this Big Board Challenge Saturday race, our feature race of the weekend here. This is the Big Board Bash brought to you by Lucas Oil. So we have car number 1 is in first. I'm sorry, car number 10 is in first. Car number 1 is in second, and car number 11 is in third. If you're into numerology, you might want to explain to me how that all worked out. Oh, we got a big car big off to the right here along the main straight, trying to get control of that car. That is the 88 car. That is car number 88. Looking to see who that was. It might have been car number 98. Hold on, stand by. I don't see an 88, so that may have been car number 98. That was a Corvette. No, it's not number 98. Anyway, whoever that was pretty exciting to watch. Here comes your leader for the white flag. 1 lap to go for Brandon Davis. The white flag is now out. So about 1 minute and 20 seconds to go before this race is over. Brandon Davis just needs to make it around safely one more time. He does have some lap traffic to deal with, but he should be able to tiptoe around that without any issues. You can do that. You can have that luxury when you have a 40-plus second lead, and that's exactly what's going on here. What a fantastic showing by Brandon Davis here. This is going to be a big, big gap here at the finish line. I don't think he will have lapped the entire field here at the end, but I'm pretty certain he will have lapped, well, he's definitely the first, everybody but the top 3, and we will know here very shortly. Group 4 cars to the grid. Race Group 4 to the grid. We've got 1 lap to go in race 3. Group 4 cars to the grid. All right, Brandon Davis heading down towards turn 7 now. And through 8, heading towards turn 9 for the final time. Brandon Davis is on the start straight, heading towards the checkered flag. The checkered flag is in the air. Brandon Davis is going to cross the line here in first place. It does look like he will have lapped the end. That is pretty impressive, folks. All right, let's do a full field rundown here for race group number 3, our big bore group. Lucas Oil Big Bore Group. Your winner, Brandon Davis. Second place, Richard Gottlieb. Third, Mike Davis. Maury Gentile finished third. Fourth, Wayne Graham is fifth. Sixth place, John Anderson. Seventh, Steve Thomas. Gary Smith is eighth. Ninth place finisher is Brad Long. 10th is Kirk Silverstad. 11 through 15, Frank Manning, Scott Graham, Wayne Taylor, Ron Hurst, and Denny Fitz. 16 through 20, Bob Castellano, Judson Schutz, Jim Smith, and Jenny Swanson. 20th place, Randy Roberts. 21st through 25th, Robert Colombo, Jay Perilli, Brad Pritt, Brian Pritt, not Brad Pitt, Robert Kelly, and Miguel Olaso. 26th through 28th, we've got Chris Qualls, Mike Gagan, and Dale Erickson. That's your full field rundown after our Big Bore Bash brought to you by Lucas Oil race. Group 4 is up next. We'll be back in just a few seconds for our second to last race of the day. Attention in the paddock. Attention in the paddock. The cafe is going to close in 12 minutes, 11 minutes now. If you'd like to grab some food, you've got 11 minutes to do it. All right, we are ready to start our race number 4 here at Willow Springs International Raceway. This is the Lucas Oil Big Bash weekend. This race is our B Sedan, GTL, GTU, and C production cars. I think that's all we've got in this group. Let's start from row 10. On the outside, Craig Carter is your outside of row 10. On the inside is L. James Gilarde in a Volvo 142. In row 9, Brandon Colombo on the outside. On the inside is David DeRosier. On row 8 on the inside, James Haley in a BMW, BMW 2002. On the inside of row 8, Bob Wass. That's car number 50 in Alfa Romeo. row number 7 on the outside, Doug Warnecki. And car number 14, that's a Porsche 914. On the inside of row 7 is Dennis White, car number 66, Alfa Romeo. Row number 6 on the outside, Edmund Germain is in a BMW 2002. On the inside, Al Waterhouse, car number 230, that is a Jaguar XK150. Car number 10 on the outside is Val Asensio in a Porsche 911. On the inside of row number 9 is Jason Reichert in a Porsche 911. Row number 4 on the outside is Jim McDavid. He is in a Mazda Miata. Ken Blasco is on the inside of row number 7. Inside of row number 4, Ken Blasco. He is in a BMW 2002. Row number 3 on the outside is Zhang O'Shaughnessy in a BMW 2002. I'm pretty certain I should say, not 2020. And then you've got on the inside of row number 3 is Steve Bristig, and car number 22, that is a Datsun 510. Row 4 on the outside, Bruce Marahan, that is a Datsun 240Z. On the inside, Dave Hartel in the car number 56, car number 24, it's a Datsun 240Z. Your front row right now is going to be on the outside, Chet Taylor in a 1966 Alfa Romeo. Your inside of row number 1, your pole sitter, Mark Sasko. Car number 21 is a Ford Mustang. That is your starting order here for race number 4. Race number 4 field now is coming down towards turn 8 under the control of the pace car. Lights are out on the pace car. Once it comes around and gets to the front straight, he will be able to, the pace car will pull off, and then Mark Sasko will have control of the field as it heads down to the start-finish line for a potential green flag. All right, your pace car is about ready to head to pit lane. That means we're about ready to start race number 4. Tracy Kane is our starter. She will let us know whether she likes what she sees, and she obviously does because the green flag is already in the air. The number 21 car of Mark Sasko jumps to an early lead. He did it the right way, though. He waited for the green flag and then stomped on the gas to head down towards turn 1. And very, very well done there, no question about it. That is the way they draw it up in the textbook on how to do a great start. Just perfectly done. That is Dave Hartel. Mark Sasko would have gotten to the first corner first here, and we will see what happens when he comes around. But that was a great start. A late starter as the number 50 car. The number 50 car of Bob Wass. That is a gorgeous 72 Alfa Romeo GTV. Bob Wass from Chatsworth, California, just down the street from here. Attention the paddock. Make sure that you all have the best and updated schedule for this race weekend. There was a schedule change last week, so you might have an older schedule. Make sure that you get a downloaded schedule or check at the registration. They'll give you a fresh one so you can have the right schedule for tomorrow. All right, here comes your leader, Mark Sasko, across the line after the first lap with a 3.3 second lead over second place Chet Taylor. Chet Taylor second. Third place car is Bruce Morrowind. Fourth place was Dave Hartel. And then Zhang O'Shaughnessy is in 5th. That's how they came across after the first lap here. All right, Mark Sasko, still your race leader here, opened up a 4.3-second lead over Chet Taylor. Bruce Marahan is in third. Dave Hartel is in fourth. Zhang O'Shaughnessy in fifth, running out the top 10. Steve Bristing, Ken Blasco, Jim McDavid, Edmund Germain, and Craig Carter. Got about 15 minutes to go here. We have a limited amount of cell service out here, and that's how we get our cameras back to our race hub. So on this weekend, we've just got the one camera here set up for the weekend. What you're seeing on this camera is turn 4 and 5, actually pretty much turn 5, 4, 5-ish. On the distance, that's the cars going through there now. And then, of course, in the foreground is our start stand. That's the main straight. So you've got cars coming through there and ready to go. So sadly, we have a limited video opportunities out here at Willow Springs just because there is no cell service. But we are able to bring you the radio call, and I enjoyed doing that as well, so I hope you're enjoying that too. Of course, if you like our coverage, like, subscribe, put a note in the comments. We definitely enjoy what we're doing. We like to do more of it, so doing all that like and subscribe stuff is certainly a big help to us. We'll be back out here tomorrow doing it again, the Lucas Oil Big Bore Bash, day number 2. Same basic rundown of cars, and we will do all again for a second set of races, and we'll have a good time with that as well. We're in the middle of race group 4. We've got one race to go. That's group 5, and group 5, you should start making your way down to the grid. Group 5 should start making their way to the grid for our last race of the day. Group 5 Formula Ford cars to the grid. 14 minutes left in this race right now.
Why didn't you say so?
Mark Sasko continues to expand on that lead. It is now 4.7 seconds. It's just slightly fast, about 0.4 of a second a lap faster than the second place car. So not the big gap between first and second like we've had in some of our other races. This is a much more competitive race here at this point in time. That 21 car, though, just flew past a back marker on the front straight here, and it was he is just cooking there. Mark Sasko continues to lead this race. Chet Taylor, Bruce Marahan right now, your top 3. Looking a little deeper into the field in 10th place, Al Waterhouse. 11th is Jason Reichert, followed by Doug Warnecki, Dennis White, and David Rossiers in 14th. Your 5th place car is James Haley. Jim McDavid, 16th. Brandy Colombo, 17th. Rob Wass is in 18th. That car started a little bit late on the field here. James Gilardi was L. James Gilardi, 19th, and Val Asensio is in 20th. That's actually your full field rundown here at the halfway point. Kind of a premonition to get that out of the way. We're halfway to go here. That's about 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this race. Group 5 cars, Formula Ford cars to the grid. Group 5 cars to the grid.
He's just a kid, and that's Dad.
Yeah, somebody steps back.
Oh, yeah. Tear your leg off.
Peter Jacoby, driver of car number 121 from group number 1. Peter Jacoby, driver of car number 121 from group number 1. Please report to race control. Attention in the paddock, attention in the paddock. Group 5 cars to the grid. Formula Ford, Group 5 to the grid for your race. Group 5 cars to the grid. Also want to remind everybody who's still here, there's a time change tonight. We're going to fall back. So if you don't change your clocks, you'll be here very early, which is fine. But adjust your clocks accordingly as our time changes tonight at tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. All right, I'm seeing some dust down towards turn 9. I can tell you as this car comes by, it was the number 29 BMW. That 29 car is 2-8. That is Zhang O'Shaughnessy with what I would consider a moment coming out of turn 9. It has continued. Oh, and it sounds as though that car may have touched the fence, but we'll see whether or not there's any damage next time it comes by. But it did continue and did not come into the pits. So that's probably a good sign. 7.5 minutes to go in this race. Race Group 5 cars should be on the grid. Race Group 5 cars on the grid. Coming up on 5.5 minutes to go in this race. Not a whole lot has changed. Mark Sasko is your race leader. Chet Taylor is in second. And we'll know in just a moment how far back Chet Taylor is. second place, 10.3 seconds. So unlike some of our other races today, the speed differential between your first place and second place car not quite as big in this race. Still, Sass goes faster, but of course, not quite as much as in those other races. Bruce Marahan is your third place car. Dave Hartel right now is in fourth. Steve Bristing not too far back actually, less than 1/10 of a second, a little more than 1/10 of a second back. So that race between fourth and fifth, probably our best race on the track at the moment. Keep an eye on that one right now. That is the 56 car of Dave Hartel. That is a Datsun 240Z. And then you've got the number 22 car of Steve Bristing. That is a Datsun 510. So keep an eye on that. Those are the probably the best race on the track at this point in time. As we go a little less than 5 to go here, and we start to wrap up this fourth race of the day. Group 5 cars, you should be on the grid. Group 5 cars to the grid. All right, next time by, we're hearing we'll get our white flag as we wrap up this fourth race of the day. Also want to remind everybody, we're back out here to do it again tomorrow. 2 days of racing here at Willow Springs. And, of course, don't forget to change your clocks tonight so you arrive at the proper time for your first race. Would hate to have you be an hour early. But, hey, you know, better early than late, of course.
Yes, Corey, we would like to.
All right, the white flag is out for Mark Sasko. He has to complete one more race lap to take home the checkered flag and the first place trophy today. Chet Taylor is about to come across the line. He is 12.2 seconds back. Now we've got Bruce Marahan who will come across the line next. Keeping an eye for that car. I think that car is coming now right down the front straight. Got a pretty big gap between second and third place. Here it comes. That's going to be probably close to 30 seconds, 26.9 seconds between second and third here at this point.
Earthquake. It must be busy up there.
All right, your leader, Mark Sasko, in turn 7. Now in turn 8, heading towards turn 9 for the final time on this Saturday. He's got one car between him and the checkered flag, 2 cars, but the second car I don't think is going to catch. But nonetheless, Mark Sasko is going to come down, take the checkered flag and the win here in race group number 4. Here he comes, crossing the line. Checkered flag is out. No issues. Pretty easy run for Mark Sasko in the number 21 car. That is a 2015 Ford Mustang. Sasko coming from Las Vegas, Nevada. He is your race winner here.
And we're on a 5-minute warp for last race.
Your second place car, Chet Taylor. Third place, Bruce Marahan. Fourth place is Steve Hartel, followed by Steve Bristing. Zhang O'Shaughnessy is sixth. Ken Blasco, seventh. Eighth place is Craig Carter. Ninth is Edmund Germain. 10th place, Stephen Reichert. Now moving on to 11 through 15, you've got Doug Wernicke, Al Waterhouse, Dennis White, David DeRosier, and James Haley. 16 through 20, Bob Wass, Val Asensio, L. James Gilardi, Brandy Colombo, and Jim McDavid. That's your full field right down at the end of race route number 4. And stay with us. Race 5 will begin very shortly. Race Group 5 to the grid. Race Group 5 to the grid. We're under a 5. All right, we've started the pace lap for our last race of the day. Let's tell you who's in this race. Row number 6 by himself, Matt Kelly. Row number 5 on the outside is Efren Olivares. On the inside is Brian Ginther. Row number 4 on the outside, Steve Yarborough. On the inside, Kim Madrid. Moving on to row number 3 on the outside is Spencer Cannon. And on the inside is Jeffrey Herr. And row number 2 on the outside, Todd Strong. And on the inside, Todd Gerstenberger II. On row number 1 on the outside, Bradley Newman. And your pole sitter is Richard Simpson. He is driving a 1984 Swift DB1. He is from Apple Valley. That is your starting order here for our final race of the day. This is the Formula Ford group. All these cars are Formula Fords of some iteration or another. Formula Ford, Formula Club Ford, Formula Ford N. So that's what we got going on here, folks. Want to remind everybody, check the schedule. Make sure you've got the right version downloaded so that you can be not get caught off guard tomorrow. The schedule was updated about a week ago, so if you have an older schedule, you might not be at the grid at the right time. So make sure when you're in tonight, you go and download the most recent schedule off the VARARacing.com website, so everything is good. Also, don't forget to change your clocks because we'd hate to have everybody show up at the grid at the wrong time tomorrow. All right, the lights are out on the on the pace car. Get a little punchy at the end of the day here. Lights are out on the pace car as it heads towards turn 8. Once that pace car hits the pit lane, Richard Simpson will have control of the field as they move on down towards the starter stand to see if the starter likes what he sees. The green flag will fly, and we will be racing for our final race of the day. Again, Richard Simpson and Bradley Newman, your front row here. Second row is Todd Gerstenberger and Todd Strong. Pace cars now coming through and about to hit pit lane. What a perfectly lined up group of Formula Fords. That is the way you do it, folks. And the green flag is out.
Copy, green flag, green flag.
11 Formula Fords pushing now down towards the start-finish line. That 29 car, Richard Simpson. Right behind him is the 14 car, Bradley Newman. This is our last race of the day. But don't forget, folks, we'll be back again tomorrow. We'll also put those races up on the Racing Network on YouTube. If you're listening now on the YouTube, you know where to find it. If not, there'll be links on the VARA Racing website. You can call your family and friends, send that link to them. Be great to get them all listening and watching. Again, we've only got one camera this weekend because of the lack of cell service out here at Willow Springs, but doing the best we can to give you the best coverage possible, despite those technical limitations. Enjoyed doing the race calls for you. Nonetheless, here comes our leaders here, coming to the line for the first time here. Your race leader is going to be Richard Simpson, followed by the 70 car of Todd Gerstenberger. Now your third place car is Bradley Newman. Todd Strong is fourth. Spencer Cannon fifth across the line for the first time. Jeffrey Hare third. Kim Madrid seventh. I'm sorry, Jeffrey Hare sixth. Kim Madrid seventh. Efrain Oliveras eighth, followed by Brian Ginther and Steve Yarborough. Here comes your leaders around for the second time now. Still the 29 car in first, the 70 car in second. That is Simpson, followed by Gerstenberger, Newman, and Strong. And a fairly big gap back to 5th place. Spencer Cannon, that is a Club Ford car. That is a gorgeous race car, by the way. That is a 1978 Lola T342. That may be the oldest Formula Ford in the field here. Let me look through some of these other ones. Oh, no, there's a 78 Crosley.
What's 7-0?
7-0 is a 1970 Titan, so I was wrong. Not the oldest car in the field. The 1970 car is in 2nd place.
And 1-6.
I'm being tested. Car number 16. I don't have a car number 16. Oh, there's the 16 car. Todd Strong. That's a 71 Titan.
71. Okay, so he's 1 year newer.
I got to tell you, folks, there are some absolute gorgeous race cars out here this weekend in all of the races. One of the fun parts about coming to a vintage race is not only taking a look at the cars on the track, is walking through the paddock and seeing just some absolutely fantastic cars. And stop and talk to the drivers about the lineage of their cars. There's only one thing drivers like to do more than drive their cars, and that's to talk about their cars. So get them aside, have them tell them the stories, because some of these cars have tons of stories to tell, and the drivers love to tell the stories. So. Still Simpson, Gerstenberger, and Newman. That's your top 3 here. Want to take a moment to thank Lucas Oil. They are our sponsor of the Big Bore Bash this weekend. We could not do it without their help. Also want to remind everybody that we're getting ready for our 50th anniversary year here for VARA. I'm going to start that off with the VARA University. That's where you go to learn how to do what we do out here if you want to come out and race with us. Good place to start if you don't have any experience. And even if you do have some experience, you can come out here and learn something. Some of the best instructors of all of motorsports will be out there to help us out and get you up to speed as quickly and, most importantly, as safely as possible. That is on the January 21st and 22nd out at Buttonwillow. Also don't want to forget about the annual meeting for VARA members. That is at Tom Malloy's shop. That's January 7th. He's got a great car collection. You can check that out as well. Then we're going to head to the Southwest Shootout, returning to Podium Club, February 17th, 18th, and 19th. That's in Casa Grande, Arizona. A brand new track. We were out there a couple of weeks ago, and I've heard nothing but good things. Beautiful racing surface, brand new track. The amenities aren't quite there yet, but they'll have more amenities in February, and that's how it works when you build a new racetrack. Also, don't forget to check out our VARA Hill Climb series. Those hill climbs are here at the Willow Springs Horse Thief Mile. They could pick an easier name for me to say. It's a 3-race series, February 26th, March 18th, and May 21st. And those dates are maybe a little tentative, but that's what they've got at the moment. March 5th is the 50th anniversary celebration at Hangar 21 at Fullerton Airport. I'm hoping I'll be there. It's going to be just a ton of fun to go and do that. March 18th and 19th, the High Desert Challenge at Willow Springs. And then May 13th and 14th is the British Extravaganza at Buttonwillow. That includes always the pre-war race cars as well as the British Car Show and the Union Jack Challenge. Here's a date, though, you really want to circle on your calendar. September 23rd and 24th will be VARA's first race on the new track at Buttonwillow. We have a name now. It's called the Circuit at Buttonwillow. The old track's going to be called the Classic at Buttonwillow. And if you want to come out for that again is the 23rd and 24th of September. And I have been on the track. I've seen it up close. It is going to be a ton of fun, a huge amount of elevation change, some big, fast corners, too. So some banked corners, and the grading is done. I believe the asphalt will start to go down this week or maybe next week. They had to have the right temperature because, unlike regular road asphalt, racetrack asphalt is a special circumstance, so that they wait for the right time to put it down. And but it all looks like it'll be ready to go for next year. And the first VARA race there is supposed to be September 23rd and 24th. Checking in on our running order here now with a little under 13 and a half minutes to go. Richard Simpson is still our race leader. Todd Gerstenberger is in second. Bradley Newman is third. Todd Strong and Spencer Cannon round out your top five. All right, we're at the halfway point. That means it's time for full field rundown. Your leader, Richard Simpson, second place. Todd Gerstenberger, third place. Bradley Newman, and in fourth is Todd Strong. And your fifth place car, Spencer Cannon. Sixth through 10th is Jeffrey Herr, Kim Madrid, Brian Ginther, and Efren Oliveris, and Steve Yarborough. Matt Kelly was in the 27th car. Number 27 car, he either did not take the green flag or his transponder's not working. One or the other. Two battles on the track worth looking at. Well, actually three. It's still only 2.6 seconds between first and second place. But if you go a little deeper in the field, the battle for sixth place between Jeffrey Herr and Kim Madrid. Madrid is only 9/10 of a second back from the sixth place car. And then the battle for eighth place, Efren Oliveris and Brian Ginther. That's only 1/10 of a second between those two cars. So check out those two battles on the track if you would like to watch a little bit of close racing here in this final race of the day. Also want to remind everybody again to make sure you have the updated schedule for tomorrow. If you printed your schedule a couple of weeks back, it's changed, so make sure you get the right one printed. And also, don't forget that the time changes tonight, and we would like to make sure that everyone gets to the track and gets to their starting grid at the right time tomorrow. And don't let the time catch you out. All right, 9 laps complete.
I don't think the process.
Richard Simpson is your leader. Todd Gerstenberger second. Bradley Newman. None of that has changed. Now it's a 4.9 second lead for Simpson. 2.3 seconds back for Newman. Todd Strong is in fourth. Spencer Kennan is in second. Not a ton of talk about there or any of those races. Still keep an eye on that battle for 6th and 7th. Jeffrey Herr and Kim Madrid, only 9/10 of a second. And also that battle for 8th with Efren Olivares and Brian Ginther. Also a good battle on the racetrack to watch. Car number 76, Steve Yarborough, had a bit of a moment here in turn 9, spun and continued. That moves that car down to 10th place on the grid. Also, car number 54 won't make weight. It shedded its nose. Efren Olivares. The car is still circulating on the track. Not quite sure what the situation was that caused that nose to come off. Now we have another car way off on the right here. That might be that 54 car of Efren Olivares. He is off way on the inside of, well, I guess on the inside, on the right side of the track. He's probably about 20 yards off the course in a big dust ball. That car used to be red. Now it's dust colored. You can call it Dusty Rose. Waiting to see what that car has done. So a little bit of action here with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in this race.
Will be next time by.
That car off in the dust there outside on the right side of the main straight there. It's trying to get going again, but has not succeeded to this moment.
It's waiting for a safe re-entry, obviously.
All right, we're heading from our start stand. Next time by will be the last lap of the day here at Willow Springs. We'll be doing it again tomorrow, but this will be the last lap of our last race of the day. The running order now is in the top 5. That's the way it's been pretty much since the start of the race. Simpson, Gerstenberger, Newman, Strong, and Cannon. There's your top 5. Get ready with one to go here very shortly.
check it on
When
the
the
leader.
leader comes by.
or
Yeah,
on
on the
All right, looks like with the car there off in the dirt there, we're going to end this race one
safe
lap
again.
early.
Yep. What do you want to do? Checkered or white? No, checkered.
All right, here comes our leader for the final time now. Checkered flag is going to come out for car number 29. Richard Simpson is your race winner. Todd Gerstenberger is going to come across the line in second. Bradley Newman will be third, or is third.
There's the front end of this car.
Looks like the rest of the field will stay in the order. That should be Todd Strong. Spencer Cannon should finish sixth. Kim Madrid will be seventh.
Yes, that'd be perfect. And I want to thank everybody on your team.
Looks like Jeffrey Herr came in right here at the last minute. So that's going to let everybody move up here a couple of positions, it looks like. So we'll get the full field here in just a minute. Richard Simpson, Todd Gerstenberger, Bradley Newman, your podium here on race group 5, our final race of the day. Todd Strong finished 4th, Spencer Cannon 5th, Kim Madrid 6th, Brian Ginther 7th, Efren Oliveris 8th, Jeffrey Herr 9th, Steve Yarborough 10th. That's going to do it here from Willow Springs International Raceway. We are out here for the Lucas Oil Big Bore Bash, VARA, Vintage Auto Racing Association. We'll come out and do it again tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. Have yourself a great day, and go play with cars.